It has been announced that a plot of land belonging to 5 families in the Anaikot area in Jaffna is to be taken over for military purposes. The notice issued by the officer in charge of the land takeovers in the Jaffna district, A. Sivasam, was displayed at the sub-post office in Anaikot, Kulavadi.
It is mentioned in the notice that a plot of land which spans over an area of an acre and 31 perches in the Sandil Paya Divisional Secretariat area will be taken over. The notice also states that the land will be taken over to construct the headquarters for the B Company of the 11th Sinha Regiment. The notice further says that the lands are to be taken over as per the instructions of the Ministry of Land and Land Development under Section 2 of Act number 28 of 1964 pertaining to the takeover of lands for public needs. However, area residents request officials to hand over the lands to them. Both of us are 74 years old. We cannot work. I request that my house be given back. We need our house. I have 4 daughters and I need to give a dowry. At least give us back our house. I have a daughter and this land is what I have to give away when she gets married. We made inquiries about the matter from T. Ashoka Piris, the Secretary to the Ministry of Land and Land Development. He noted that only essential lands are being taken over for military purposes and discussions will be held with the landowners. The Secretary to the Ministry pointed out that area residents could make requests during this meeting and that land will not be taken over by disrupting the lives of the people. He reiterated that steps will be taken to provide compensation to the lands taken over in the area that were ravaged by the war.
Reports have emerged that an injured wild elephant could be seen roaming on the Dambulla-Haburana main road in the Digampatana area.
This wild elephant with injuries to the upper portion of its trunk can be seen by anyone who travels through the Digampataha area on the Dambulla-Haburana main road. Wildlife officers from Sigiriya say that the elephant was injured after consuming an illegal explosive device known as hakkapatas. The wildlife officers also say that they had informed veterinarians in Girithale about providing medical treatment for the pachyderm. The injured wild elephant was seen charging behind a motorbike travelling on the road yesterday. According to wildlife officers, the elephant has been thus behaving in an agitated manner, unable to bear the pain of its wounds.
Anthony Chakravarti Vijayanathan, a former director of A.F. Jones, passed away at a private hospital in Colombo yesterday. He was 89 years old at the time of his demise.
Born on the 24th of March 1924 in Colombo, Anthony Chakravarti Vijayanathan was an old boy of St. Joseph's College, Colombo and St. Patrick's College, Jaffna. A management consultant by profession, Anthony Chakravarti Vijayanathan served as a director on the board of A.F. Jones. He was also the founder chairman of the Mansell Ceylon Private Limited. Anthony Chakravarti Vijayanathan served as the first Sri Lankan director of the Lions International Board from 1982 to 1984. The remains of Anthony Chakravarti Vijayanathan are lying at a private parlour in Colombo. The final rites will be held at the Boralla Cemetery tomorrow.
The Media Movement for Democracy unveiled a report today on media suppression from May 2004 to May 2013.
The report titled 9 Years with Deaths, which was issued today, reports that 44 journalists and media professionals have been killed from 2004 to 2009. It also highlights the disappearance of a journalist. It reports of 5 incidents of abduction of journalists and intellectuals from 2004 to 2013. The report on cases of suppression of journalists states that 20 journalists have been arrested from 2004 to 2013. The report also mentions 2 incidents of media intimidations. The report states that media institutions were attacked on 9 occasions and journalists were attacked on 43 occasions from 2004 to 2013. The law has not been implemented since May 2003. The perpetrators have not been brought before the law. We do not have any faith. minor crimes receive harsh punishments in this country. However, it is easy to slip away from committing a major crime. When the wrongs of VIPs are uncovered, it is dealt with quickly. There is no faith in the security of this country. Measures are not being taken to ensure the protection of media professionals and media institutions.
Time now for Action TV.
An unofficial ban has been imposed on students who wish to transfer from one national school to another for the advanced level examination. A complaint lodged with the Sri Lanka Human Rights Commission by a group of parents on behalf of several students from a girls' school in the Moratuwa area brings to light another form of this ban. These students who recorded good results at the ordinary level examination sent their applications signed by the principal of their school to several reputed schools in Colombo. However, these students have not even been called for an interview. When the Secretary to the Ministry of Education imposed a similar ban restricting students from transferring from one national school to another to study for the advanced levels, a group of students lodged a similar protest with the Human Rights Commission. There was no need to take these complaints into consideration, as the Secretary to the Ministry withdrew this ban due to pressure exerted by the Cabinet of Ministers. However, the Secretary to the Ministry of Education is yet to issue an official document to school principals that this ban has been lifted. Meanwhile, a mother and her son engaged in a protest in the North Tandia area today against the actions of the principal of the Dhammissara Vidyalaya, who had obtained a sum of 25,000 rupees to enroll this child to grade 1 but had ultimately rejected the child's application. Although Action TV highlighted this issue on 3 previous occasions, the principal did not deny that he had obtained the money. On a previous occasion, he explained what the child's guardians could do regarding the matter.
They could lodge a complaint with the Zonal Education Director, Provincial Education Director and the Secretary to the Ministry of Education.
However, by that time, this parent in question had already lodged a complaint with the ministry, and the advice given by an additional secretary was to lodge a complaint with the Bribery Commission. The additional secretary had even issued a letter directing the parent to the commission. Minister Dashrata Thisera, who arrived at the gates of the Dhammissara Vidyalaya, also attempted to resolve this issue.
The interview board should conduct an investigation if something wrong took place. This is the request I can make to the Secretary to the Ministry, and I will do it.
In other news, a 35-year-old Sri Lankan asylum seeker has died from a heart attack hours after being transferred to Christmas Island by Australian authorities. Australian media reports quoting that the Australian Immigration Department said that the Sri Lankan was transferred to a hospital from the Phosphate Hill processing area on the island after falling ill on Wednesday. The Australian Immigration Department has notified the next of kin of the deceased about the death. According to Australian media reports, the Australian Federal Police are carrying out investigations into the incident.
Lionel De Silva from Lankapura filed this report for News First U Reporter today.
This building was constructed as accommodation for unmarried employees who work at the Polonnaruwa Kacheri. However, this building has not been made use of for some time and is now in a dilapidated state. At present, the doors, windows, fans and other items have been stolen by thieves. The area residents urge the authorities to look into this matter and take adequate measures to ensure that this building is not neglected any further.
News First U Reporter Win Mama Lankapura Lionel De Silva.
Statement made that a prepaid card system will be introduced for private buses before the end of September 2012. However, the prepaid concept is yet to be realized. We are preparing to launch the prepaid card system by May this year. Everything is in place. We only have to sign the contracts. Will the system, which will be useful for the public, come into effect at least in May this year? News First is keeping a close watch.
And on to sports news, we start off with some cricket news. A 15-member squad for the upcoming ICC Champions Trophy was announced by Sri Lanka Cricket today. Meanwhile, a 15-member Sri Lanka A squad was also named today for the tour of West Indies.
Sri Lanka will compete in Group A at the ICC Champions Trophy, which commences on the 6th of June in England. The team led by Angelo Matthews and vice-captained by Dinesh Chandimal includes Kumar Sangakkara, Mahela Jabardana, Tilakaratna Dilshan, Lahiru Tirumana and Kusal Janit Pereira in the batting lineup. Left-arm seamer Chanaka Velagadara has been called up for an ODI tournament after 2010, while Lasith Malinga, swing bowling specialist Nuwan Kulasekara and Shaminde Ranga will also feature in the side. Tisara Pereira and Jeevan Mendis are the all-rounders in the squad together with spin duo Rangana Herath and Sachitra Senanayaka. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Cricket also announced a 15-man squad for the Sri Lanka A team's upcoming tour of West Indies. Dimuth Karunaratne has been named as captain of the side, while Angelo Pereira will serve as his deputy. Along with Karunaratne, Kitran Vitanage, Kaushal Silva and Suranga Lakmal, who have represented Sri Lanka in tests, have also been named. Sri Lanka A team's tour of the West Indies begins on the 5th of June. Speaking at a media briefing held today, Sanat Jayasuriya, the chairman of the Sri Lanka Cricket Selection Committee, had this to say about the team selection.
We're always thinking of 2015, the World Cup, and we have been discussing a lot. But this particular tour is an important tour. It's a Champions Trophy. We need a little bit of experience, and we need players who can play on those conditions. We can't put straight away young players into the deep end straight away. So we tried out few players during the Bangladesh series because we know that we are playing against Bangladesh. So I think we all selectors have played enough cricket to realize that when we go a tour like this, we need experience. We need players who can handle pressure. So that's how we got this team.
The Western Province women's cricket team emerged as champions in the Inter-Provincial Women's T20 tournament. They won the finals by beating the Central Province women's team by 7 wickets.
The match was played at the NCC grounds in Colombo. Batting first, Central Province were bowled out for a paltry 58 runs in 17.3 overs. Shashikala Sirvardhana and Oshad Dhiranasinghe bagged 3 wickets each for Western Province. Chasing 59 for victory, Western Province reached their target in 10.3 overs, losing 3 wickets on the way. Nilukshi Hansika top scored for Western Province with 36 runs, while Sugandhika Kumari bagged 3 wickets for Central Province.
And we wrap up today's news bulletin with some sad news from the world of entertainment. Chris Kelly, one half of the 1990s rap duo Criss Cross, has died in an Atlanta hospital at the age of 34.
Criss Cross was made up of Kelly, known as Mac Daddy, and Chris Daddy Mac Smith.
They are most widely remembered for their 1992 hit Jump. Tonight we leave you with the sounds of this trend-setting artist.